Hey y'all, I hope you can hear me. Everybody's mowing grass today. Tried to wait as long as I could, but it seems to be never ending. As you can see, this is my T-top headliner. I'm going to be recovering it in some gray headliner material here soon. So I figured I'd take a little video and see what I can make out of this, because I haven't really seen any good write-ups or videos on recovering a T-top headliner. And you know, as many of you know, the T-top cutouts cause a little bit of an issue. So briefly, the board is in really good shape. You can see that I cut holes out for the overhead console that I added, and you can also see how the material is falling and ratty. The other big problem is over here. A mouse had chewed a big gaping hole and started to chew one over here. Just barely got through the headliner material. So I'm gonna fix that. And for some reason, these parts here on both sides have broken. This one broke just from sitting. That one over there looks the same. So what I plan on doing is I'm gonna remove the material. I'm not gonna videotape a whole lot of that because it's pretty straightforward. I mean, this is basically falling off. And then I'm gonna use a brush similar to this one. And I'm just going to very lightly, you can see, just brush that old glue off and try not to take too much of the headliner material with it. I'm not gonna do this on top of my car, obviously, because that stuff is like, when it comes off, it's crummy, but then it kind of turns into a goo. Not that I care about my paint, but so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll probably pick up the video where I'm gonna fiberglass this. I'm actually gonna close these seatbelt slips up because I have 4th gen belts, and you can thread the lower receiver or the lower part of the belt through there because it's only the, it just bolts down. That's locked. It bolts to the floor. There's no retractor. So I'm gonna seal that up, make that stronger. All the edges where I cut out for the overhead console, I'm gonna make sure I get some resin in there to solidify those, and we'll see what I come up with here. I'm not gonna fiberglass the entire thing because the rest of this board is nice. It's nice and sturdy. So I'm gonna try to do as much as I can to the back side so that it doesn't mess up the finished product, and we'll go from there. This is what you get after you pull off the material, which I've plopped over here. I plan to use that as a template to get the new stuff cut out reasonably into size. And I'm just taking this brush and you can see it comes off very quickly. And you gotta actually be careful because you can sand with this bristle brush. You can actually sand the actual fiberglass away, so you gotta know when to stop. Just get the brown stuff off. Sometimes you use your finger to get a stubborn spot. Just to be careful. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna finish doing that. Just a couple little pieces are coming out, like, I feel like I can kind of plop that back in there and fiberglass it. I don't really know what good that's gonna do, but it's definitely fragile in spots, and I definitely still have to do around here. Yeah. And this paper on the back, I don't know if I should be keeping that or taking that off. This like backing. I guess I should take that off if I wanted to. Yeah, that was a good shot. Way to go. Guess I should be taking that off, but we'll see. I ended up cutting this off because it was just flopping in the breeze anyway. So, let's see. Oh, man, I'm not even showing the shot. See, I got a crack here. Probably just hit that with some resin, and also hit this with some resin, just to kind of hold it in place. And then on the other side where it's cracked, I'm going to lay a little bit of matte and really strengthen it up a bit. In this area here, where there's a big gaping ass hole, my plan on this is to actually use some parchment or some wax paper on this side, tape it down real good, or secure it somehow. On the other side, I'm going to pour some resin in and use some matting to basically rebuild. I don't want to put a whole lot on this side because when I smooth out my headliner, I don't want to see a patch. I'm going to try to keep that as flat as possible. So that's my plan. So that's about where it is. It's real nasty stuff. It's not something you want to do in your living room. It makes a heck of a mess. I've already brushed the table off a couple times. So here we are after my first round of fiberglass fixes. I got the pieces stuck back on. Now it looks like there's still a crack there, but there's a lot of resin in there, and it's already, it's already flashed, set up. I'm gonna do some more, and then on the back side, when I go to fill this hole in, which I've taped over to keep the shape, I don't really care if the tape stays on there because it's so thin you won't see it, but I'll peel it off as best I can. Anyways, when I go to do that on the other side, I'll use some of the mat that I got and just reinforce those areas on the back a little bit. This corner was broken, so I did this corner. It's super hot from it reacting. This piece I glued back in. Not sure how good that's going to work, but it is what it is. This side was pretty bad too. You see I put pins in there to keep it because it kind of wanted to tweak on me. So I used 6 ounces of resin and 6 drops of hardener. That much left, and this thing's like, you could boil an egg on the back of this. But a little too much left. I think next time I'll probably make it in a 4-ounce batch and use a couple drops less to give me a little more working time, but gave me just enough time to do 2 or 3 laps around this thing with a brush. So we'll see what happens. And now I've fiberglassed the backside. I used trying to get some air bubbles out. Just finished. This is the part here was just kind of chewed on. That's the hole that I fixed. Got tape on the backside, and you can see when I run my finger through there, it moves a little, but that's two layers of matting. There's mat there, there's mat on there. Just got some on this corner before the resin started to set up a little bit. Wasn't really able to get the air bubbles out as well as I'd like, but it's looking pretty good. These corners are nice and strong already, and with what I just did there, they should be good. I just have to wait for it to set up and cut the little hairs off, and we can start covering.